Hey everybody, how's it going? Dan Schinder here, more than halfway through, about 3/4 of the way through November. If you can believe it, holidays are kicking into gear. People getting hammered by holiday shopping already, fighting for Cabbage Patch dolls or whatever the thing is this year. And we're joined by Rich Redmond in our 2025 Fan Q&A series where you folks get to ask the questions. If you join our membership site, you can watch in the 3D environment there, which is really cool, or you can watch just 2D in the membership site. And then there's a sign that gives you instructions where you could press a button and it puts you right backstage here with us. And I'll see you line up in the queue, preview the question, put you up on screen. I'll disappear. You get to ask Rich a question, stay on screen while he answers. And just so you know, a little disclaimer, Rich makes up most of answers, just so you know. Get creative with your questions. Rich, how are you, brother?
Dan, what is up, man? It is such a pleasure to be here. It's always great to see your smiling face.
Thanks. And go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your sip of brandy.
Oh, yes, it's pinky's out.
That's nice. There you go.
This is the iconic, best-selling Rich Redmond podcast coffee mug.
That's a cool mug. I want one.
It's not dishwasher safe, but I'll send you one.
Send me the link.
Got it.
That's cool. So folks, yeah, join us and you can ask a question. In the meantime, watching on Facebook and YouTube Live on the Drum Talk TV channels. Thanks for joining us. You too can join. I'll put a little ticker at the bottom so you can see what's going on. But for the first like 15, 20 minutes, Rich is just going to hang out with us live streaming to talk about what's going on. And for those of you who don't know, Rich is not only the drummer for Jason Aldean's band, has been with them since they were rolling around in the back of a van traversing the country, but clinician, session drummer, author, producer, actor, produce a little of everything. Like, so what's the end of the year look like for you? And what does 2026 look like for you?
Oh, man, it is... usually at the end of the year, we're getting towards pumpkin pie, and I'm not going to say no, and just Cool Whip, Pilot High, Pilot Deep. Save the Neck for me, Clark. I'm going to watch that for sure. It's family time, and Nashville kind of shuts down after the second week of December. So everybody's going into hibernation, but no, it was a crazy year, lots going on. And then next year, we're going right to it, finishing our Full Throttle tour in January, February, going across a big pond to go to Australia and New Zealand. And I know your son will love this, Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna visit Hobbit Town for sure because
nice.
I'm a huge Tolkien fan, and it's probably the only place in the world that I'll feel extra tall.
That's hilarious. Have you been down there before?
We went to Australia in 2015, so right at 10 years ago. It was incredible.
Cool.
Brisbane, Sydney. Of course, Sydney, you need a solid week to visit.
Yeah.
It's like, Sydney is like the perfect combination of New York and LA. It's sophisticated.
You know
it's
what?
cutting
I
edge.
saw it more of a combination of San Diego and San Francisco. Is
All
the
the
way
sands.
I kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived in Australia for a while, and I lived in Sydney for a while. I lived in Brisbane for a while. I lived in a really small community of about 2,400 people. It was a prison. No, it was Arley Beach, which is the far northeast. It's the gateway to the Whitsunday Islands, which is basically the Great Barrier Reef. And then back down from Sydney to there to Brisbane, back to Sydney. Just amazing. And we've been wanting to go back since Enja left after 3 months. I just kept getting more work, more video production work. This was before Drum Talk TV. And she, after 3 months, she's like, I got to get back. So she came back. She had art showings and stuff. And I just kept getting more work.
That's awesome. I can't wait because I am probably one of the only drummers that has 5 #1 songs with a Tasmanian pop country band.
Really?
So big shout out to my buddies and the Wolf Brothers. They're actually brothers, Silent E. So it's Wolf, Silent E, and they come over to the States, played on a couple of their records, and whenever they're in town, we write songs, and they like my songs. So we collaborate, and
that's awesome.
They record the songs, and it's a cool thing. So they work a lot over there. Maybe I'll get to visit them, but that's the beauty of travel. That's the beauty of of playing a musical instrument, because you get to travel for free. You get to see the world for free. And it might not be on your exact timeline. I'd love to have a week in Sydney, but I'll probably have 48 hours, and I'm going to milk it. I'm going to suck the
Yeah. Don't
marrow out of
sleep.
that thing.
Yeah. Don't sleep. Just all of it. The nightlife, the
Yeah.
early morning sausages and compo. It's such a great place, and the people are great. Um, Now I want to go back. Never been to New Zealand though, so we're gonna have to hit up New Zealand if we go down
Yeah.
there at all. Yeah. So what else do you have going? Projects of yours? Do you have any new books coming out? Are you doing clinics? Are you doing any of your own music? I know you produce other people as well. Do you
Yeah.
have any of that
Yeah.
on your board?
Dan, yes to everything. It's just
Right.
it's like improv comedy. You never want to say no. It's all about yes and so everyone's like, what are you going to do next year? And next year is, first things first, I get that PDF of my tour. So happy to do it. We visit all those places. We try to rock, melt faces, playing in the same band for 26 years. We're having a great time. Jason's 15th record is coming out. So we got 20 new tracks of music
Wow.
they're actually
Wow.
starting to slowly drip things out. And also tomorrow, I don't know where music videos are played anymore, because I mean, like there's like MTV is closing down and GAC's closed down, CMT's unlimited, but anyways, we shot a high dollar music video where it's kind of like a snapshot in time. I'll just say it's sort of 1970s ish. So
Yeah.
that's coming out tomorrow, and
That's cool.
that was really fun to shoot.
Yeah. Even though there's no network that really carries
People
that.
find it. People will
Yeah.
find it.
I see artists using it on their YouTube and their other social channels all the time to
Yes.
promote the way the TV stations for you youngsters. Well, I'll explain later.
You got to adjust
But
those rabbit ears,
yeah, the way they used to utilize those, now it's almost like a book, like we were talking with Steve about self-publishing their own videos on their own channels to promote their own work. And I think that's great.
It's like high level grassroots marketing using this
Yeah.
crazy thing right here that's breaking everyone's brain. But anyways, love it or hate it, you got to embrace it, or you're the get off my lawn guy. But so, I just try to do more and more and more of everything. I just
Yeah.
like to be creative every day. So I have my home tracking studio and I record on Music Row for various artists. And then, of course, I do my clinics, I do master classes. I have an offering called my Drum Tensive, which has been really popular. I've had 50 people from around the world fly into Nashville. They spend a day with me. I've got a deep curriculum, but the first thing we do is we address all of their questions and concerns, things they want to work on. And, I mean, it's very flattering. I had this week a young man came in from Tel Aviv and he's like, hey, I want to move to Nashville. I'm like, when? He's like, December, maybe January at the latest. So I kind of tell everybody, do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
This is what I did. I'm not a genius, but I'm still here. So use it as a guide. And then we get into, rudiments, reading, charting, the Nashville number system, four-way coordination, playing styles, percussion, music business, all the stuff. And it's
Yeah.
very satisfying and seems to be resonating with people. So, and my podcast is moving forward. I'm on year 6, 245 episodes.
Great.
The greatest drummers in the world, your LA drummers like, your Mark Schulmans and your Kenny Aronoffs and your Nate Mortons, and then all your Nashville guys, your Paul Limes, Greg Morrows, Chad Cromwell's, Eddie Perez's, Lonnie
Yeah.
Wilson's, all the guys that are, that used to be heroes and they still are, but now I can actually text them and send them like weird memes in the middle of the night, and then maybe I'll, work on my 4th book. 2 years ago, I put out Making It in Country Music, and the publisher was awesome. They really believe in you, and they give you a hardback, and they're giving us a softback of that same book, which means we sold out. People responded to the book, and that's the beautiful thing. Physical publishing is a tough sell nowadays, but I was called to write the book, and the people that need to find the book find the book.
Yeah. Exactly. Wait, going back to the Drum Tensive, do people need to show up with a certain level of play? Or
No,
no?
it could
Okay.
be anybody. Sometimes I get like hobbyists, so like professionals, like neurosurgeons or
Yeah.
people, cops that
Serious
are about to,
enthusiasts.
yeah,
Yeah.
like even like cops that are about to retire, and they're like, man, I'm gonna have a pension and tons of free time, and I'm like, okay, and I already play in a weekend band, and I try to just make them sharper and better. And one of the big things that I try to do for anyone at any level is to introduce them to reading music. They do not leave that day with me until they can read page 38 of Ted Reed's syncopation book. Bop, 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 bop. We all know it. We all love it. Because if they can do that, they can literally be their own teacher for the rest of their lives. There's so
Yeah.
much they can consume, and then they can be in a million bands. They can learn things faster. More opportunities will cross their path because they can learn music faster because they can read music. So that's a
Right.
big part of the thing. And then I do my motivational stuff, which is great because I get to play drums during the event and talk about my success concepts for your personal and professional life. And last week I spoke at the International Association of Packaged Ice. So it's like all the people that package ice, and you would think, wow, there's associations for everything. Well, yeah, because
Yeah, absolutely.
in the middle of the summer and you're making a drink, at the 4th of July party, you're going to want ice.
Yeah,
And
pack
these
in your cooler to go for the hike or
for
fishing
your
or the beach.
overpriced
Yeah.
Yeti, you're going to
Ex-
need your ice. And then, a day later, I was speaking to this big software conglomerate that uses its ones and zeros to make people's lives better. And no matter what, these people, they love to be reminded of some of the basics in life. I don't use PowerPoint. I play hit songs they've heard on the radio, and I just kind of remind them of, the basics of life,
Yeah.
and I try to keep it exciting because, it doesn't matter if you've swam the English Channel or you cured cancer. After 3 minutes, people are bored.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what I
sorry,
mean?
I wasn't listening. What?
Oh, yeah. Good one. Dan, where's your splash symbol, man? Come on.
Yeah. Hey, what? Give us, if you don't mind, give us 3 nuggets. What are 3 things to remind us of the basics of life?
Okay, here it is. Let's talk about the one thing. Why does every motivational speaker on the planet talk about attitude? Because drum roll or single stroke roll. Yeah, that it is the 99.9% of life. People expect you to be great at what you do, but it's those soft skills, your attitude. People like being around positive people. And scientifically, it takes twice as much energy to maintain negative thoughts. So why do we do it? Let's just, live in the land of unicorns and rainbows. And I tell people that, you can use techniques to change the channel on your state of being. If you get up on the wrong side of bed, you're having a bad day. I love colorful food, so I'll eat colorful food. I'll get that green smoothie. It's like, oh my God, this is real expensive, but when it comes to health, you pay now or you pay later.
I get
And,
this stuff that's been in the fridge for a month.
because it's green.
Colorful.
I got it. And then film. I love film. I love Ridley Scott's Alien, 1978, 79. Sigourney kills the monster. The cat lives. It elicits an emotional reaction. I love Rocky. I love Eye of the Tiger. I listen to great music, and I surround myself with birds of a feather, like-minded individuals that all want to solve the world's problems. And so I just remind people that enthusiasm is contagious, and I wield it like a sword. And I just try to live my life on the positive side of things, because the flip side, it's not as fun, and it takes a lot more effort.
Yeah. And, I know this might sound like a platitude, but I think we all learned at some point in grammar school, high school, whatever, that it takes more muscles in your face to frown than it does to smile. And it's a microcosm of what you're saying, that it takes more effort to be negative than to just,
yeah. And as you and I, as world travelers, it doesn't matter language barriers, cultural barriers. If you smile, it changes the energy in the room, and it actually changes momentarily your DNA. So it gets you on the right path to having a great day. All you have to do is do that.
Yeah. And usually people will do it back. Usually.
Yep. Yeah. Even New Yorkers.
Even my wife, once in a while, she'll do it back to me. Absolutely. From the Bronx. Yeah.
That's right. Amazing.
She's sort of doing it here. Sort of.
Oh, is that her headshot?
Sort of.
Is that her headshot?
Yeah, sort of doing it there, not really. Yeah, that's all great stuff. And let's not, folks, we know everyone has a day, a day or a moment where they lose and it's all about building that foundation. So you can only fall so far, and it's easier to just get back up and okay, where did I lose it? What and it's easy to turn around like any other habit. You keep doing that and doing it and doing that. It's easy to catch yourself and just and I think for me, one of the things that helps with that is if you step in your own crap, just be magnanimous about it and say, oh, that was me. I stepped in my, oh my gosh, I can't believe I blew that. You know what? I should have listened to you before next time. You know, that does so much for your vibe, I think. And it also shows you're a grown up, you know.
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
that
and I think as a general rule, we're in this beautiful fraternity and sorority called drummers and percussionists. And I just got back from the 50th, Percussive Arts Society International Convention,
yeah,
and it was a magical one. I mean, it's like it would have been really a big letdown if the 50th anniversary was kind of like
sucked.
what. But no, I mean, Joshua Simons is just doing an amazing job, and the community came out and it was packed. There was Weckel, Bissonette, Omar Akeem, my buddy Matt Billingsley, who's been playing with Taylor Swift. So it was just a massive love fest, and all the clinics, they knocked it out of the ballpark. And all your favorite manufacturers are there. But the
Yeah.
main thing is just that we just have this unspoken love fest. If you are a drummer, we are going to close down that bar. We are going to talk
Yeah.
about everything from favorite drummers to our influences when we started, things that we collect, things that we're listening to now, books that we've gone through, wing nuts, pedal tension. We love it,
Yeah.
you know.
Stupid little stuff that means so much to us because it's part of our world and part of the stuff that is our stuff, you know. My
Yeah.
dad was not a drummer. My dad, was around me since I was playing when I was a little kid, but when I started playing professional and all this stuff, and he'd see like the other bands that we'd play with on a bill or that I'd fraternize with friends. And he said, drummers are just like golfers and campers. They don't mess with each other's stuff. Number one. Number two, they're great at sharing. They're very communal. Like, I see you showing so and so your snare drum and talking about, yeah, you want to play it? Yeah, check it out. Whereas, like, a lot of guitar players will hide what their pedal board makeup is or
Yeah.
turn around, face the stacks when they're doing a solo so you can't see their face. He noticed that, and he wasn't even a drummer. So
That's amazing. Yeah, we give it all away. And actually, you got to give it away if you want to keep it. That's just a rule of
yeah,
life.
yeah,
And all the gear that I play, man, it ain't no secret. Everything that I get is off the shelf. I mean, I still to this day have never asked DW, hey, can you take this drawing that I did and laser engrave it on a custom drum set? I just say I like that finish, and Joe Smith from Arkansas can walk into the Guitar Center and buy that same drum set.
yeah. That's cool. That's cool. And you've had some beautiful kits too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, folks, we got about a minute and a half. We're going to go into the membership side exclusively. So, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube Live, go ahead, follow the little directions there in the ticker, or you can look at the info in the posts on those respective channels. Follow the breadcrumbs, become a member. We'd love to have you. And we're going to go into the membership site. There's a really cool theater. Stephen, our producer, texted me a picture of it. And I can't remember the name of this particular theater, but it's really cool. And you can move around in it. You have an avatar. You can sit next to someone that 2 continents away, or you could just click a button and just watch it 2D. Just watch it from the membership side. It's a lot of fun. And if you want to ask Rich a question, I'll put you on screen. If you're shy or didn't fix your hair, something I'm not worried about today, you can text it in. And if you know me personally, you can text my phone, or I'll watch the comments, or Steve will relay it, or Rich will just babble and make up a bunch of BS the whole
There's
time.
too many ways to communicate now, buddy. It's just overwhelming.
Absolutely. That's funny. My phone just went ding. It's Ronnie Siago.
Who was it?
Ronnie Siago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ronnie's a great drummer. Has a really good play. Sent me some funny Robert Downey Jr. I thought he was watching, and maybe she said, "Hey, I got a question for Rick." Ronnie, come on.
He's like, wasn't Rich in Back to School?
He's that guy that got shot in that movie, right? The first real acting gig you get, and you get to get shot. That was cool.
I'll take it.
See, that's part. I want to take credit for that. You know why? Because when you got that gig, I called the director. I said, "This guy's a bad guy. You got to do this guy in." Just kidding.
I was covered in that fake sticky blood
I
all
remember
day
the
long, and it was a
scene.
low budget film. It was, it was an indie film, so there was nowhere to take a shower. So when I got home, I was ripping hair out of my chest
You
because
didn't
all
like
the
walk
blood.
into Denny's first and order something to go or
That would have
freak
been
people
great.
out?
Can I get a super bird, please?
Oh, and a knife. Cool. All right, folks. Here we go. In the membership site, people watching on YouTube, thank you very much. We'll see you soon.